Yes, sir.
Sir.
The record shows now 2:32. Want to start over?
You're welcome to, sir.
All right. It now being 2:33, we're going to commence the proceedings before the special magistrate for code enforcement for the city of Pulaski. By way of introduction, my name is Ron Brown. I am an attorney licensed in the state of Florida, and pursuant to state statute and city code, I have been appointed to preside over today's proceedings. This is not a formal court of law. It's what's called a quasi-judicial procedure. We will not be following the official rules of evidence or civil procedure as outlined. It's in a circle. So what's happening?
I paused it. I know what it is. Let me see. There we go.
All right.
Thank you.
We can, so we can proceed from that point.
One moment, make sure. Okay, you're good. I apologize.
Talk about a feedback loop. That's one from another dimension. As I was saying, this is a quasi-judicial procedure. We do not follow the formal rules of evidence or civil procedure as would occur in a regular court of law, but we are required by statute to follow the basic rules of due process and fair play, and we will do that. We will call each case as it is presented to us and inquires whether a respondent is present. The city will then present its case, indicating which statutes or ordinances they find are in violation and the evidence in support of that violation. Any respondent present will have an opportunity to present any evidence and testimony they may wish to present and to ask any questions they may have. At the conclusion of all the testimony, I'll make a decision concerning whether the violation exists and then what penalties would be appropriate in pursuant to both state law and city code. We only have one case today. We have waited until it's now 2:34 to see if a respondent has appeared. And so far, we do not see anyone, but we will begin with the case 2022-001, James Martin Mullis Jr. The property address is 611 Olive Street, Palatka, Florida. Mr. Green?
Yes, sir. This case was first observed on January 7th, 2022. The green cars came back signed. I posted them on the property. And the violations are 3169 building in fronts, mold and mildew. And the other two are 3032-810 roofing, 3032-82 overgrown grass and brush.
All right, and just for the record, let me just read those into the proceedings. The first violation was Code Section 30-32A10, which reads, mildew shall be cleaned from buildings having street visibility and loose wires such as TV cable shall be secured. It says not more than 10% of the buildings having street visibility may have mildew. The second violation is of Section 30-169 of the city code regarding building fronts and sides of abutting streets or public areas. Excuse me, that was 169. The next one was 332A10, prohibited conditions due to overgrown grass. 32A10 states in its language, failure to replace or repair with similar or improved material in a reasonable period. That, David, that has to do with roofing and soffits.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's going to be the third violation.
3032-810.
Okay. So we'll go to the third violation, which is roofing and soffits, 30-32A10.
Yes, sir.
Failure to replace or repair with similar or improved material in a reasonable period not to exceed 60 days. Broken or missing building components, including but not limited to doors, windows, roofing material, and siding. And which detract from the aesthetics of the neighborhood, shopping area, industrial area, or other commercial area within the service district. The final violation is the first one, which is 30-32A, I think, 2.
Yes, sir.
Which then deals with, and quoting from the statute, excessive or unintended growth of grass, weeds, brush, branches, and other overgrowth. Let's take them in the order in which you presented them. The first one had to do 32-32A2 due to the overgrown grass.
It's the last picture there.
That's upside. There we go.
The last ones.
And you're showing us some photographs as demonstrative evidence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's the roof in there. He's gonna start with the grass, so we got to go all over.
Yeah.
Right there. That's
Yeah.
All
All right,
That's
let me
it-
do,
that's
let
it
me do, let
today.
me, let me do one thing before we
Okay.
begin, and we didn't do this. Make sure we got the due process done. I see no one in the audience, but I will call just to be sure. Is James Martin Mullis here? Or anyone representing James Martin Mullis? Is actually James Martin Mullis Jr. Seeing and hearing no one. Mr. Green, you did send the notice of the violation and the hearing
Excuse
to
me,
the
Mr. Brown.
official address of the property on the property appraiser and tax collector's rolls. Is that correct?
Mr. Brown, excuse me, 1 second. Just swear them in, the witnesses.
Oh, thank you. Everyone, my apology, we're just starting late today. Everyone who will be testifying today needs to be sworn in. Please raise your right hand if you will be testifying. Let the record show that our code enforcement officials have stood and will be taking the oath. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, we haven't done this in 2 weeks.
Yes, everything's been sent to him, posted on the property.
Now, let me go back to the green card. You sent the notice at the official address at P.O. Box 7757, Columbia, South Carolina, 29202. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Green card was returned unsigned.
It was signed.
It was signed?
Yes, sir.
All right, but you posted the property
Yes, sir.
also?
Yes, sir.
And you have a notice of, you have an affidavit of posting?
Yes, sir.
And showing that the property was posted on what date?
Yes, I have the pictures in the affidavit of the posting.
Which one?
I'll go see it.
Oh, here it is. Okay, affidavit of service looks like it was on March 2nd, 2022 at 1:32. Is that correct? And you posted the property here at City Hall.
Yes, sir.
Now, I think we're ready. Let's go back to the photographs. First of all, let me tell you on the photographs you're presenting, did you take these photographs yourself?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do they accurately represent the condition of the property on date in which you took them?
Yes, sir.
Right, we were talking about grass and weeds and section 30-32A2. And show me what you have. You
You
showed
can
me.
scroll back 4 pictures, Aaron. That's what it looked like today. Anyway, 5B, that's what it looked like today and
And 5B references the photographs.
of today, yes, sir.
All right,
And that is it right there on 1/19/2022. That's it.
this is photograph 6.
Yes, sir.
And is that the side of the house
Yes,
that's
sir.
included? Okay. So this is completely grown up and blocks the house.
Yes,
from
sir.
view.
The rear of the house.
The rear.
Yes.
Okay, what, any other side views you want to show me real quick?
Yes, sir. That's another picture of the overgrown grass and brush.
Is that also the rear or another side?
That's the same side.
Same side. What about the other 3 sides? Anything?
They're clear.
Photograph 3. That's the side of the house?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to the mold and mildew in violation 30-169.
Scroll down. I think it's 3, Aaron. One more. There it is.
Look at photograph 4.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's it on January 19, 2022.
Okay. Does it look like that today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else do you have?
Scroll down to the yesterday's picture there for the mold.
There's some mold. Well, back up to that one there, 1B. Is that mold on the plywood?
That's the
there?
roof in disrepair today.
Okay.
The next one down.
It's on voted 2B.
And that's a mold and mildew. That's a mold and mildew today.
And that's on 3B.
Yes, sir. That was taken March 22nd, 22.
So do these sides have street visibility?
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's Olive Street. That's right next to the road.
All right. Very good. Statute requires it. All right, show me the roof repair in
That's-
violation of, looks like 30-32A10.
Yes, sir.
You're looking at photograph
Yes, sir,
one.
that's a wide shot of the picture of the hole in the roof right there. And then the next picture is a little close up.
It looks like the roof is almost totally compromised here.
Yes, sir.
Goodness. Is that vegetative growth on top of the roof?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Have you had any contact at all with Mr. Mullis or anyone representing Mr. Mullis?
No, sir.
All right, final call is for anyone, James Martin Mullis Jr. or anyone representing James Martin Mullis Jr. And seeing and hearing no one, based on the evidence and testimony presented, we're going to find a violation of section 332A subsection 2, prohibited conditions and public nuisances due to the overgrown grass on the sides of the house, including one side, which just includes the entire view of the house from the rear, but also on the other three sides of the house. A violation of section 30-169, building fronts and sides of abutting streets or public areas. The evidence presented shows mold and mildew on the sides of the building that face public streets. And as violation of section 30-32A10 of the municipal code, prohibited conditions and public nuisances due to the roofing and soffits, which shows almost total disrepair. The roof looks like it's totally collapsed and useless, and the soffits indeed have rotted. Based on the evidence testimony, we're going to find the violations. What kind of fine are you looking for?
$75 a day, and we're gonna give them 90 days.
90 days?
Yes, sir.
Until what date is that? Excuse-
That is June 22nd.
June 22nd.
Yes, sir. Fines would start on June 23rd if not in compliance.
The city's recommended and the special magistrate will agree to issue an order finding the violations and to require the owner to bring the property into compliance by taking care of the overgrown grass and debris and keeping the property mowed and cleaned, to clean or paint the mold and mildew on the walls and to repair the roofing and soffit. I guess an alternative is to have the structure demolished and
Yes,
the
sir.
property cleaned. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
We will require that the compliance be completed no later than the end of business on June 22nd, 2022. In the event of non-compliance, a fine of $75 a day shall commence on June 23rd, 2022. Okay, there being no further business for the special